In this video, we're going to be checking out the final turtle from the brand new Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Samurai Mikey. If you've watched my other videos of the Tales from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know that all the turtles make use of the same body. So in this case, they are 4 3/4 of an inch tall, and that would be the same basically across the board for all of the 4 turtles. Where their distinctions do come is obviously the different coloring of their pads, the elbow pads or shoulder pads, the belt, the knee guards, and of course their weapons and respective color differences on the helmet and face guard. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Let's first look at the weapons that come included with Mikey. There they are right there. Not quite nunchucks. In this case, he's got a pair of hooked weapons, which have some rather interesting ball and chains running from the bottom. A completely different contrast to what we would normally see Michelangelo sporting, again with those nunchucks. That sounds like a perfect segue. It is a perfect segue. Here he is next to his original counterpart, Michelangelo. Now, it's more apparent their size differences when you look at Samurai Mikey versus the regular Mikey from the original line. There's a considerable height difference, whereas some of the characters stayed relatively close to one another. Samurai Mikey is quite a bit taller than regular Mikey on the other side here. Something also quite different too is the face sculpt. I thought that the head sculpt would stay pretty consistent, making use of their original head mold, but in this case we've got Mikey, which I think this head mold was used before, but it's not the one from the original Nickelodeon Turtle releases. They kept the same coloring. The orange is roughly about the same. This one has a little bit more tang orange to it, but roughly about the same sort of color scheme. So while it did look like it could make use of the same head sculpts, Mikey is clearly a good example, where in this case they've used a different head sculpt altogether. What isn't different, though, is again the make use of the same armor, this really awesome samurai armor making up the body of the turtle, or in this case covering over and protecting the body of the turtle. Underneath all that, you would imagine would be the turtle's body, its flesh, and of course its shell. But plated over top of that is all this cool samurai armor, which we've looked at already, but again, just want to show you some really awesome looking scroll details in the armor plating here. Certainly even up by the neck guard has some nice cool scroll work there as well. And even areas such as the shoulder pad get a little bit of that going as well. Again, a great looking piece. I think these new turtle toys are quite awesome. They are a little hollow on the underside, but again, you're really not going to be seeing them from displaying them upright, as of course you would normally tend to do with figures anyways. Let's go ahead and get Michelangelo's weapons of choice into his hands. Again, I would say the only one small negative is it's a little difficult to get the weapons into their hands because the handles seem to be very broad. I suppose that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I would want the weapons to stay firmly gripped in the turtle's hands as opposed to sitting quite loose. How are they going to protect and save anybody if their weapons keep sliding out of their hands? So you can get yourself a pretty fun looking pose going with Michelangelo. And to complete the look, let's go ahead and grab his helmet, which also shares the same sculpt as the other turtles. Again, looks quite good in the orange, I have to admit. And there's the interior as well. It looks like they've actually even sculpted an area in the back to accommodate the fact that he would have the knot from his headband in there as well. You can see the little slots on the sides. And just to actually show you how everything comes together, here is the dragon face guard, little face mask that they use. And there's these little tabs. The tabs fit very easily into these little slots. And let me just show you what it looks like without putting it on the turtle, so you can actually see how everything comes together. Now, one thing that of favoring putting it into his face first, or putting it onto his head first, is the fact that it would more securely fit the mask. So this is basically what you would end up getting. It kind of reminds me of something, and I can't quite place what it is specifically. I feel like it's something like from He-Man or whatnot. But let's go ahead and finish the look. Instead of just imagining what it would look like, let's go ahead and put the actual face mask on there. There we go. And there you have a completed Michelangelo, looking very cool in this dragon motif. The orange looks quite good. I thought Raph might be my favorite from this set, but I'm thinking that maybe Mikey here might be the cooler looking one. The oranges look really good amongst the backdrop here of the silver and the grays. Just to show you what everything looks like together, there's Michelangelo. The first turtle that we had to look at, Leonardo. Of course, we can't forget Raph. That's Ralph. Move him over. Mikey, Raph, and finally, there's Donatello. I think Donatello's kind of cool too because he looks good with the purple. Let's just kind of move them all over so you can see them all. There we go. Again, making use of the same mold, you can see how they're so drastically different when you start incorporating their specific weapons and, of course, their own corresponding colors to match their actual turtle colors. The four look awesome, and of course the only one that's missing right in the middle is the Usagi Yojimbo, which we will be looking at as well. These should be hitting store shelves. If not now, they will be coming out very, very soon. And I definitely would say I think they're pretty cool if you like the original Turtles and want to get something a little bit more armored up. Today, though, we were having a look. Let's just move them all out of the way. We can't steal Mikey's spotlight. Today, we were having a look at the brand new Playmates toys, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one, right here, the final brother. This was Samurai Mikey. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, hit that little subscribe button down below. That will mean you won't miss future video notifications when they pop up on this channel. So no missing videos. You'll be right there in the trenches when a brand new video pops up. And if you guys also like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I've got a whole playlist designated specifically for the Turtle Brothers. So check that out if you get a chance. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.